go. Everything should be all set. And we are just about... Oh, there we go. And we are just about ready to begin. Hey everyone, Steven from Tostemac, and welcome to another live stream. Good to see you. Actually got quite a few people here. Sharon Starkey, Detective Kronos, and SM. Good to see you all. So, just gonna get something here before we get started, because I'm actually gonna try something a little different. But anyway, how's your Saturday been? Going good for you so far? There we go. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, for me, it's been getting better, but it's like this past week has been, pretty rough. What with Akira Toriyama passing away and, Rooster Teeth shutting down. I'll talk more about the Rooster Teeth thing next week, but this week, today, I want to talk more about exercise routines. I made the autism video, and now we're going to talk about it. My Detective Kronos says my Saturday is great. Awesome. Was there anything that you did in particular? SM says meh. Sharon says sleepy. Yeah, I've actually been feeling kind of drowsy in the morning because maybe it's due to the winter weather, or maybe I wasn't getting enough sleep, because yesterday I had to spend all day finishing up that video, because there was still a lot to be done, like the avatars, the images, the animation, stuff like that. That takes a lot of time, so there was that, and I had to go to a physical therapy appointment because I had to went to physical therapy because I had some back problems again, and the recent doctor said it was sagittal imbalance. So I went over to physical therapy, and they recommended some exercises to work out the muscles in the upper back, because according to the therapist, and I went over this with my older brother Daniel, is that all the muscles are connected, and what's happening is if the muscles in the upper back are tight and stiff, then it might put more pressure on the lower back, so that might be causing some of the lower back pain. So they gave me some new exercises to try out to help loosen those up a little bit. But then something weird happened. For those who've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I've been on a diet for several months now. And that involved, changing, what I eat and doing more exercises. Oh, Sharon says fighting a virus or something and slept most of the day. Was it like a fever or like a cold or something? Because those tend to suck. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with sickness throughout this diet. That's better. So the other thing is what was the thing? Oh yeah. So I was in a rush to get the video done, so I quickly went out for some Chick-fil-A, and boy, did that not sit well with me at all. Back before the diet, I would eat Chick-fil-A all the time, every week. But it's today, after several months, I eat Chick-fil-A again, and my gallbladder starts acting up. I was like, oh God, this feels so terrible. And this feeling didn't go away until this morning. I had to deal with it all afternoon and this morning to get it all out of me, And I was talking with my older brother Daniel about this, and it's because of the fact that my body is so used to eating healthier foods now due to the Mediterranean diet. And it's it's been so used to it that I'm not having too much of the processed and fast food stuff, that my my gallbladder and digestive stuff is able to get the nutrients out easier. But when I had that fast food thing, just one trip to Chick-fil-A, it's the gallbladder had to take a different direction, and that caused the discomfort in my body. So that was a big shocker to me. I actually can't have Chick-fil-A anymore, That sucks. But, I've been feeling a lot better ever since I've been doing the diet stuff. So it's not too big of a loss. It's just, one of my guilty pleasures I can't have anymore. Stomach and low-grade fever. Ugh, that's nasty. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely sucks to be sure. Um, so let's see. So today we're talking more about, exercise routines. I have a few things to talk about here and there, but if you want to share your experience with exercise routines, feel free to let me know. This stream is for you. So I remember, like, even back when I was a kid, I loved doing exercises. And, like, it was, as I mentioned in the video, another way of stimming, releasing that energy, getting active and stuff. So it's not like I didn't enjoy exercise back then. I loved it. But the problem is exercise and diet often go hand in hand. So, like, back when I was in grade school, I ate, like, grade school and even college, I ate a lot of unhealthy food, like a whole bunch of sweets, a whole bunch of fried stuff, that kind of thing. And what happened was, even though I was doing all the exercises and stuff, even though I was on the running machine for about 45 minutes, I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, walking, all that stuff, I was not losing weight. If anything, I was actually gaining weight because of all the unhealthy and processed stuff I was eating, And it really kind of upset me, It's like, I felt really bad. I felt really heavy. I've always felt like tired, and I've only had the most energy when I was eating. And it wasn't until Daniel proposed the first diet idea that we did together, and that was not fun at all. I think it was actually kind of similar to, or close to, a keto diet, where it's like it was super restrictive, and you only have like one cheat meal or one cheat day and stuff like that, And it worked for a little bit. Several months passed. I got down from like 280 all the way down to like 220. And then when we moved from Colorado, I went up to like around 227, almost 230. So when I did the diet again, I actually had to look up a different one where it was like not as restrictive, so I could have more free range with what I eat. So I went over to the Mediterranean diet, and that's been doing well. So, like, now that I have a good diet in mind, I'm at the point where it's like, I'm getting good at keeping the weight off. Like, I'm losing the weight and I'm keeping the weight off. Like, the exercise, the intermittent fasting days, combine that with the exercise and good diets, I've actually been able to, keep the weight down. So, like, I'm able to enjoy the exercises and, still focus on weight loss. And me and Daniel were talking about this, and it's like, when you get into the routine of doing the exercises on the regular, it's like you're not really looking at a chore. You're looking at something that will help your body and make you feel good. Because, like, every time I get done with an exercise session, I feel better. Like, my stress is worked out, and, like, I feel good. I feel relaxed afterwards, and it's something that is part of the regular routine, and I feel good about it, I don't have to, like, just exercise whenever I want to. That would just be inconsistent, and it's been doing great. And actually, one of the people that commented on the latest video was asking for advice in terms of, like, do you have any advice on following through adding an exercise routine? I've tried incorporating my routine with exercise with reminders, but I find it hard to not ignore them. Probably demand avoidance. So what I recommended, and this is like a very long one, what you may want to try, if you haven't already, is write down which days are exercise days on a calendar. So that way, when you wake up in the morning, you could take a look at the calendar like, oh, this is an exercise day, or, oh, this is a rest day, so I know what to do. The other part is, and I mentioned this in quite a few of my videos, is do not rely on motivation. The thing is, like, when you make the exercise a part of your regular routine, you are more committed, more dedicated to those exercise sessions, rather than just exercising whenever you feel like it. when you exercise whenever you feel like it, or just when you're motivated, you'll find that the results are rather inconsistent. Like, you're not going to get the same results every single week if you just rely on motivation. So what I recommended was focus more on discipline. Discipline is when you're set to do something, get something done, even when you don't feel like it, because you know it's something you need to do. And discipline is something you can actually incorporate and cultivate into your regular schedule. And when you cultivate discipline, you'll find that you can actually get a lot more done than if you were to rely on motivation. Like the latest autism video that was released this morning, if I was relying on motivation alone, I guarantee you that video would not have come up this morning. Or if it did, it would not nearly be as good as if I, focused more on discipline, because I knew the video needed to get done. But it needed to get done that night so it could be ready for the next morning. So whether I was feeling motivated or not, it's just something I had to do. Then finally, I recommended, if you have an end goal, keep that goal in mind as you're working out. There are going to be days that you may feel like it's not worth it, or that things aren't going the way you want them to. At times, it might be tempting to quit. I've had a couple moments throughout the diet and exercise where I felt really down, and like when I was having those muscle pains and whatnot, where I actually had to call out of work this past weekend before I had the doctor's appointment. My older brother Daniel actually reached out to me, and like I was telling him, like, this muscle pain sucks, and he was there to keep reminding me to not quit and remind me, like, this is why I'm on the diet and exercise in the first place, so I don't have to deal with the muscle pains in the back anymore. So he was there to let me know, like, you got to keep at it. You can't quit. You've already come so far. Look at how much you've done so far. Look how much you've accomplished, and you just got to keep going, At times, it might be tempted to quit, but you have to remind yourself in those moments that there is a finish line to reach, and you've come too far already to turn back now. Whatever your goal is, be it either weight loss, feeling good about yourself, building muscles, or whatever else you have to believe, whatever else you have, building muscles or whatever else, you have to believe that it is worth the struggles you are going through right now, and that nothing of true value ever comes easy. So, that was basically the advice I had for him, And, it's not easy, Keeping committed towards working towards a short-term goal, that's one thing, right? But when you work towards a long-term goal, that's an entirely separate thing, Like, working on short goals, you don't have to be as committed as you would in terms like if you're trying to get a goal done within a week, that's not that much to think about. It's like getting your school homework done, But like, working on something that's due in a week is one thing, but when you're working on something that could span out in terms of like months or even years, it could be a lot harder, Because, like, the longer span you have towards a goal, the more you have to stay committed to it, and the more easy it can be to have the temptation to just quit. Like, you see the finish line or the light at the end of the tunnel so far away, so just it always feels like it's out of your reach. And, looking at that long trail, it could be easy to think, like, what's the point? No matter how hard I try, I'm never going to get there. Like, I'm not going to get to, like, the goal I had, no matter how much work I'm putting in. It's just not going to work. But when you have those moments like that, when you're seeing that long trail ahead of you, then at that time, you kind of want to take a moment to look back where you started and see how far you've come. Because I think when you take a look back and see how far your journey's been, it becomes more of a drive to, keep going. Like, look how far you've come. You just got to believe more. Like, you've come too far to just quit, you know? And it's not easy, like me staying committed to things that hasn't really been a strong suit for me until I worked on, Boy Scouts and towards the Eagle Project. There were times where it's like I had ideas here and there, but I never followed through all the way to the end because, like, I look at the end goal and I get too daunted by it. I get too overwhelmed by thinking, like, maybe I can't do it. Maybe it's just too big. But with my Boy Scout project, when I worked all the way to Eagle and the Eagle Scout project, that was probably the first time, I actually stayed committed because, I had people working with me during Boy Scouts, had people encouraging me all the way to like the life rank and, getting to work on the Eagle project. I had people help me along the way and it was that situation where it's like I was looking how far I've come and how I'm almost there. I was like, you know what? I've come too far to quit now. I'm going to do this all the way. So, like, it was at that point where it's like, I had mom help out, I had some friends help out, and, I really stayed committed to, like, doing the Ego Project, answering the final questions. Then before you know it, I'm an Eagle Scout, So staying committed to something is not easy. Staying disciplined is not easy. But you got to keep this in mind. Nothing worth having ever comes easy. If you want something, you got to be willing to go out there and get it. And when you stay committed, you see yourself grow on this journey. You're not just focusing on the end goal. You're focusing on the journey itself. How you are growing in this journey. How far you've come. And how little that you have left to do, Maybe it could take the span of months. Or maybe it could take the span of years. Because like I was talking to Daniel, like my weight goal being 170 and with my current weight being at 204, it's like, this could take several months or like close to a year. This is not going to happen within like 1 month or 2 months. It's going to take a long time. But when I look at the benefits, I know it's going to be worth it, So I'm going to try a little something different. I don't know if... No, I don't think that's going to work because, like... I was thinking about inviting a couple people from Discord, but I actually don't know how to incorporate the Discord chat on here. Let me play around with that a little bit. Just going to be... Let's see. Capture 2. Let me try. No, that's not it. What if I add? Audio output source. Desktop audio. Maybe that'll work? There's only one way to find out. Let's see. All right. Detective Kronos, if you're still there, I'm going to try to join up the group chat and, ask a couple questions if you're up for it. Because what I want to do is, this is something I haven't done before, is to join a Discord group chat and see if we can get multiple people in the live stream. So, let's see. Let's try that. See if that works.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great.
Oh, good. It looks like the audio capture is actually working on the live stream. So, how's your how's your weekend going so far?
really great.
That's good. That's
Really
good.
good.
That's good to hear. So I've actually been I'm actually doing a live stream right now, and it started out as like talk about exercise routines, but eventually it kind of turned into like staying committed to goals and stuff. Like, have you guys ever had like a, or maybe still have like a long term goal you're working towards?
You can go first, Kronos.
Not really.
Okay, I mean it's not a bad thing. It's, some people do, some people don't. It's like it was just kind of curious. So what have you guys been up to?
We've been animating.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So do you do like 2D animations or 3D animations or
3D.
3D? Cool. So which do you think is actually harder to do, 2D or 3D? I only ask because I've never done it before.
Well, there's a few components to it. One thing is about all the bones and how you can navigate to them, and the second thing is camera angles. I'd say I would say 2D just because it's hard to navigate with depth and perception, but 3D you have 3D space to work with different camera angles, so you have more customizability, but it's um it's harder to kind of work with to get poses and shots done. So if I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure they're equal because they both have their challenges, and
Okay,
they
so
kind of
it's
just
kind of like they both
cancel each
have
other
their
out.
ups and downs.
Yeah, 2D is kind of more for simple drawn animations, while 3D is more for realistic, um, like not fan stuff, kind of just storytelling and a little bit more detail, rather than 2D, which is kind of just drawing and kind of just doing your own thing.
Oh yeah, cool. That makes sense. Yeah. So is it like a project that you're working on right now, or is it like you can't really say anything about it right now?
I am working on the project right now.
Okay.
Basically, just been working on poses and compositing and other such.
Cool. Cool. How long have you been doing it for?
I myself have been doing it for 7 months, and Cronus here has been doing it for over a year now.
Oh, nice. So it's something that you're, still getting used to and stuff.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've learned animation pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure in the first 3 months, I learned the amount of animation tactics as someone would learn in around a year or so. So I learned quite quickly when it came to just general animation and other such.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I kind of find a similar thing, and it's not like with animation, but I do video editing stuff. And it's like, there are things I learned in video editing where it's like I can learn it in like weeks. Whereas, like, with, in terms of like school or college session, they kind of span it out in like a matter of months or so. So is it kind of like something similar to that?
I guess you could say so. I guess it just depends on what you're using. For other animation or video editing, we're gonna go video editing for example. When it comes to video editing, something like iMovie is really for beginners and is targeted towards beginners and is kind of uh less customizable. It has all these effects already done for you, while Premiere Pro is for advanced video editors for small short films, movies, or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like I've actually been working with Premiere Pro for like several years, and it's like it can seem really daunting at first, but it's like as long as you know what it is you're setting out to do, then it's like you should be like you'd be able to pick out which elements you're going to be using, right?
Yeah. I mean, once you learn how to navigate yourself around the video editor or animation software you're using, um, it becomes pretty easy. You just need to get familiar with the layout you're using to find where certain things are, like keyframing, adding things such as shapes or objects, just so you figure out where everything is, and then you could start learning where or how you can kind of just edit or animate. You just need to learn where you are in the video editing or animation story, and then you could start working on your projects.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm actually getting to a point where I'm going to be wrapping up the live stream in a bit. Hope you didn't mind that I put you in the spotlight like that.
Oh, it's completely fine. I'm fine with doing stuff like that. I used to stream a bit as well.
Okay, cool. But anyway, I'm just gonna close things out here. I'm just gonna mute myself for a bit, and I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you. There we go. That was actually.
That's crazy.
Whoops, hold on. There we go. That was actually the first time I actually experimented with something like that. Because I actually have another stream idea coming up during the month of April where I actually invite a special guest. And, this is pretty chill stream, so I just wanted to, take a moment to experiment with. But if anyone's here in the chat right now, were you able to hear that, or was it just muted out? Because it kind of figured, if I just figure this out now, then, come April for this idea I have in mind, at least have everything set. But, yeah, while I'm waiting on that, I think we did a pretty good stream time. And I hope you enjoyed it too, whether you're watching this live or maybe watching this later on. And, again, if you want to share your experience with exercising and keeping with routines, just tell us about it in the comment section below. Oh, Sharon Starkey says we could hear. Excellent. That is great news. Was it too loud or was it too low? Was it just right? Because, that is actually great news because during the month of April, it's going to be live streaming month where I try out different ideas. And I think I pretty much got it nailed down. The first week is going to be Nintendo 64 Extravaganza, where you pick the N64 games I play. The second one is going to be a Chow Garden live stream, where those who show up get a chow in the garden. And then the third week, it was fine, awesome. Then the third week of April, April 20th, is actually going to be a charity live stream for Best Buddies in Colorado, because on May 5th, Best Buddies in Colorado is going to have their friendship walk in Denver again. And it recently came to mind, wait a minute, what if I did a charity live stream on April 20th, then I could put the money earned from that live stream to the Best Buddies friendship walk. I think that'd be a great idea. And then the fourth week, which I believe is the 27th. Yeah, the 27th, I'm actually going to have one of my best friends, maybe Billy, maybe Sean, one of the two. I'm actually going to have them on the live stream, and we're just going to talk about stuff. There's a chance to get to know some of my friends, And who knows? Maybe the live streams will benefit if there's multiple people here. Maybe it'll be more better if it's, not just me talking all the time. So, yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. This has actually been a really good stream. There wasn't really too many silent moments, and I actually got to test out something that works really well. So, yeah. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Whether you're watching it live or watching it later on, if you enjoy what you see, hit the subscribe, like button, all that good stuff. Next week's live stream is, I'm going to tell you in advance, it's going to be a sad one because we're going to be talking about what Rooster Teeth meant to me over 20 years and, how I feel about it, being shut down, But that's for next Saturday. This Saturday it went well. Thank you very much for watching the live stream. And until the next one, See you later.